Are you tired of feeling run down and exhausted? In our fast-paced world, we're often surrounded by toxins that impact our well-being. I provide holistic solutions designed to detoxify your body and environment. With cutting-edge AO voice scan technology, we identify the root causes of your discomfort or dis-ease, making personalized healing easier than ever. Start your transformative journey towards a healthier, toxin-free life. Because at White Sands Self-Care, your well-being is our priority.
Do you suffer from anxiety? Ask your doctor about... Actually, don't. Try Vibe instead, the non-drug way to calm your nervous system. No crazy side effects, no floating, no feathers. Just gentle calm, without the side effects, like morphing into a dolphin. Vibe is energy therapy for your body, helping your nervous system reset naturally. Millions of therapy sessions delivered. Vibe. Calm without crazy. Side effects may include deeper sleep, calmer days, and feeling like yourself again.
Well, welcome everybody to another Mindful Monday. So what if the biggest thing holding you back right now isn't your circumstances, but the way you're thinking about them? So many high achievers look successful on the outside, yet internally wrestle with doubt, hesitation, and pressure to get it right. But what if there was a way to shift that quickly and step into clarity, confidence, and decisive action? Today's conversation might just change the way you see everything. So please join me in welcoming Steve Barton. He's an entrepreneur, high-performance coach, and creator of the Game of 10. With 30 years of experience building and scaling a successful business, Steve now helps leaders break free from self-doubt and internal barriers so that they can step into clarity, confidence, and decisive action. His work has even been presented to the Harvard Business School case study team, and his mission is simple yet powerful: to help you create success that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Laura, for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you and getting to know you over the past month. And it's great to have me on the show. I'm happy to be on the show, and thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. I always love high energetic people and stuff, and you are and you have that in spades.
Yeah.
So Steve, maybe you can start by taking us back. What was a pivotal moment in your life or business that led you to create the Game of 10?
33 years ago, I went to therapy. In that 33 years ago, you didn't go to therapy. You were crazy if you went to therapy. And I knew that had everything in the world I wanted and wasn't happy. And that's when things started changing for me. That I started attracting books like A Course in Miracles, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, Death and Dying. Uh, just it all started coming at me, and I just was embracing it, and I had a big life change during that time. And from that time, it took me years to figure it out. So I'm still figuring it out. So hopefully I can share some things that I've figured out, and hopefully people will figure things out for themselves, or I've spawned some ideas that they can figure it out. So
Oh, I believe we'll always be figuring it out, and we'll always be learning.
yeah,
There's too much out there. I worry more about people that think that they already have it all figured out.
yeah,
Those people worry me.
it's infinite learning, lifelong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But so you created the Game of 10. You want to tell us a little bit about the Game of 10, what that means?
Well, the Game of 10 is basically a game that I came up with because I think life is a game. And it's based on the premise that we are all aspects of a divine source, that we are all connected to the collective consciousness, the universal source, whatever you want to call it. I call what I do like an Aflac, a supplemental to whatever religion you believe in or philosophy. You can add the Game of 10 to that. It applies to. I haven't found anything it doesn't apply to. It's a universal truth. So 10 is we're all appointed 10. The game is from the premise that we're all appointed 10, and through life experiences we encounter disappointments. Some are bring you down to 9. Some will bring you down to 8, 7. Some are traumatic that will bring you down to 1. They're life changing, and we either get through them or we get stuck in them. And it's really, life is situational, and some things will trigger us to go back to those places. So the key is to learn what those triggers are, and I teach how to let them go. And that is a process. And staying at 10, we have to uncondition our mind, because 10 is unconditioned. It is the pureness that we were brought into this world with, as pure love, unconditioned, without terms and conditions, that we push the green button in our mind and accepted. So it's really undoing what we've been taught, learned, and accepted.
Yeah. And it absolutely is a process. I think the more you can learn and adjust or find ways to play the game, right, then maybe you can adjust quicker. Other people kind of stay where they are a little bit longer. There's no right or wrong. Like you said, it's a process, and I think it's different for everyone.
Exactly.
But yeah. So, and you built businesses from 200K to 2 million. What
Mhm.
inner shifts were just as important as the external strategies in that growth?
It's really about the big shift was when we bought another location, which brought us up to about 500K. And then bringing in flowers. This is 30, 40 years ago. We brought in flowers, maybe longer. We brought in flowers from Holland, from all over the world, where my local competitors were just using the carnations, daisies, and palms. So in business, you just have to be a little bit better. We just happened to be a lot better, and we started taking over the market. We bought the building on Congress Street. It was during in Portland, Maine, and we also combined the two stores' names. It was Harmon's Flowers, Barton's Florist, and we bought the building and the business. Hold on, $200,000 in 1980. I think it was 1980, and in that same year, it was 85, when Maine has no billboards. And this building that we bought had this almost outdoor theater siding to it that overlooked the square. It's probably the second major square in Portland, Congress Square. And I put in, I met a muralist who was doing some murals around town. I said, this would be a great idea to combine the two names, Harmon Spartans, and have a mural that is basically overlooking Portland Harbor, a view in a mural form. And we brought it to the city council, and they said, this is a billboard. I said, no, it's a mural. They said, it's a billboard. I said, no, it's a mural. By the third, fourth time of doing that round, we're all laughing. They said, "Well, we'll let you do it if you don't put your name on it." And I said, "I'll let you do it if I don't put my name on it." So they
See,
all laughed, and they said, "We'll let you do it if Tony Taylor is the muralist." I said, "He's sitting right here, and yep, that's an easy yes." So that's how that. So for $5,000, we had lights on it. Shone bright. We had it in the paper. It was on the news. Steve Barton has the only billboard in the state of Maine. I said, "Don't say that. It's a mural."
it's all in the wording and what you can do.
Oh,
But then again, that's thinking out of the box. It's, and I like that you kind of just, even in a way, just made it a game and kept coming back at him instead of just saying, okay, well, can't do that, find something else.
I think my success is knowing there is no box and there is no other shoe. And having that attitude, I think, is the key to having an open mind, and being unconditionally loving. But a
Hmm.
lot of people don't understand what love is. And so the definition of love, another word for it in business, is respect. Okay? And with respect, same word. People use it differently. But in love, I think people have been so tainted and so hurt by it that they just basically have all these guard walls up around it. So I have no walls, I have boundaries, okay?
Yeah.
Healthy boundaries, which is sometimes love says yes, sometimes love says no, sometimes love says stay, and sometimes love says go. And it's situational. You have different boundaries with different people, and you have to keep those boundaries. And people, and if you're solid in your authentic self, people just know. You know, I don't say things around you that I say to other people. I don't.
Well, right. You start to get a feel for, kind of where their boundaries are, right, as well. So where you
Pretty
can
much.
kind of,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
without necessarily offending people.
Yeah, I can do that too. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can apologize.
Oh, yeah.
I do make mistakes. I own them. I apologize, and if they want to accept it, great. If they don't want to, great. Okay, they are not my people because my
Yeah.
people accept. I don't want, and I never would overly. If I apologize more than twice, and something's wrong with me, you know, I'm not getting it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of those boundaries that you have in place or that you normally kind of put in place?
I think language is a big boundary. That sometimes I'll use the F word around people, you know,
Right.
and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I talk appropriately. I treat people the way they want to be treated, and when I don't, then they'll let me know in some way, and then I'll apologize. But I think it's really about using your intuition to know, and really coming in your intentions too. My intentions are always kind and loving. Okay, and then if someone perceives it differently, then let me know. What did you mean by that? I didn't. I didn't.
Sure.
Yeah. So you basically communications is key in the game of ten, and that is also everyone's doing one of the phrases that everyone's doing the best they can with the awareness they have. I'm doing the best I can with the awareness that I have. So, and I'm always right with the awareness that I have. They're always right with the awareness that I have. And those are two declarations or proclamations of that we are innocent until we come from a place of innocence. Great, good intentions, loving, kind, respectful intentions.
Yeah, and so you and I have discussed this, and I think it'll be helpful to the viewers as well if they understood kind of like the game of 10
Mhm.
and the six
Yeah.
things you say, how you
Yeah.
can get stop because you and I were talking and working on my my overthinking, right? I'll be honest, I overthink, and how to shut that down.
Yeah.
So you want to share with them what you told me because I think it'll help many viewers out there.
Yeah, the last I did a podcast early today, and I did it with the podcaster, and he goes, "Oh my God," because had a shift, and I've had people in my BNI group, my business group, every Thursday. One guy came in one day and said, I go, his name is Steve, and I said, Steve, how you doing? He goes, Oh my God, my brain is racing. I go, see me after. So we did these 6 phrases together, and this happened once before. It happened with him, and we do the phrases, and he goes, "I can't think," and then he starts laughing like you, and then he starts, "I can't think." I said, "Good," because
Good. You're not supposed to.
he goes, "I can't think," and he's laughing hysterically. And I said, "If you leave your body, let me know. I'll help you get back in." And so we had that agreement. And so he just lost it, literally lost his mind. The egoic reticular activating system, the egoic chatterbox mind. He just couldn't. He disconnected from it. And I teach people how not to think, and they go, "What's going to happen if I don't think?" I said, "You're going to know." Okay? Would you rather know or would you rather think? Oh, I'd rather know. I said, because this is what the game of tennis, because awareness is all about awareness. And the definition of awareness is without thought, being without thought. And when you are without thought, then you become aligned and are a pure channel to source awareness, collective consciousness, collective unconsciousness. And the more open you are to this expansive infinite state, the more you do that are normal and paranormal. And you're open to all kinds of things. And the good news is I don't believe in evil unless you think there is, and then there is. Okay?
Right.
There are people doing horrific things, yes, and you shine a light on that, and you do what you can to be a voice of love, kindness, and shine a light on it, and do your best to stop what is happening. So I'm not a Pollyanna in any way. I'm very common. It's very common sense, and I say that in the game of ten, the sixth sense is our common sense. It's the sense we all, the one mind joined together. So, but very few people tap into their sixth sense, their intuition.
Yeah, someone else I've heard other people refer to it as the knowing, having the knowing. And one of my previous guests that's actually on earlier was Paul Staten. He's called the Healing Wizard, and that's what he
Mhm.
says. He's like, thinking is dangerous. He says you just got to stop thinking. Thinking's just actually
Yeah,
dangerous.
most of it's thinking, and so it's 80. The Cleveland Clinic did a study on thoughts years ago, and 80%. We have 60,000 thoughts a day on average. 80% of those thoughts are from the past. Uh, we have 20,000 thoughts currently that day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. 20% are positive. And I like to say, unless it's downloaded from an idea in the present moment and then turned into a thought, and this happens in nanoseconds,
Hmm.
unless it's current, present, they're all insane because it's old. You're using old, stinky thoughts. That 80% are negative, 20% positive, 100% are not appropriate for this moment in time right now. You know,
Yeah, that's why I always tell people it takes a conscious effort to be, positive because we are so bombarded with negative constantly. And yeah, we need to like tip the scales, tip the scales
yeah,
on those percentages.
yeah, it's part of our DNA that we have this ego that is 80% negative, 20% positive to keep us in our body, to keep us from looking both ways so we don't get hit by a car, right? Or
Hmm.
eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, if there ever were those. And so it keeps you in your body, let's say, okay?
Right.
You're alive in physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we run through the game of 10 for everybody here, how that works?
Let's do it together.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
all right. When you declare that you are 10, it means you're an aspect of God, Source, Divine Presence, the Unified Field, whatever you want. Anyone who's out there who has their own practice of a divine uh, source, then that's what 10 is. An aspect of it, part of it. So I am 10.
I am 10.
I'm doing the best that I can with the awareness that I have.
I am doing the best that I can with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I do enough.
I do enough.
I have enough.
I have enough. Yeah.
So what we're trained to do is fill in that gap, that space immediately with a thought. So Eckhart Tolle says it the best, I think. The biggest addiction we have in the world is thinking and overthinking. So we're conditioned to think and fill up any space with noise, either internally or externally. People who have can't can't stand silence. They have to fill it in with something, chattering, and so we're addicted to it, and that's one of the biggest causes of mental health problems are overthinking, especially when you're dealing with 80% negative, 20% positive. So no wonder people are sick. They're thinking disease thoughts.
Yeah. And then those six phrases that we just said, they're really just kind of like a kind of like a pattern interrupt. I mean, it dumps everything.
It stopped it. So when I have a client, I teach them, I instruct them to continue. You're going to do an internal brainwash. So if you don't brainwash yourself, you will be susceptible to be brainwashed by someone else. So be really careful of what you're letting your mind watch and TV and movies, and just really when you're watching stuff that's disturbing, know that it is not real. Or if it is real, then have a healthy, compassionate detachment from it. So the first phrase is the declaration of who we are. The second two phrases are declarations of our divine innocence. I'm doing the best I can. They're doing the best they can with the awareness they have. It opens up communications to. I don't think they meant what they said, and if they did,
Right.
sometimes love says no, and sometimes love says go. Okay,
Yeah.
so when their intentions are not loving, then bye. So the next three phrases, I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough, are declarations of the present moment awareness. And the be is I am, the do is I do, and the have is the I have. And in this present moment. So the universal quantity, which nobody ever gets, and when I ask them, and I'll ask people, do you know what the universal quantity is? No. I said, well, you said it 3 times like a minute ago. And they go, I am?
Wrong part.
Um, have? No. And you said it 3 times. I don't know. This is how powerful our ego is not to know the truth. It wants to keep us set in a limited mindset. So breaking away from that limited mindset to expand is frightening to the ego. And I've heard different things about that. The ego's biggest fear is it's going to die. It is a construct of our mind that isn't real. So to protect us from,
Right.
and the only thing it can protect us from is the truth and love, so we don't get hurt. Which is insane. Which is insane. Definition. That's my definition of insanity. So the universal quantity portion, uh, or space. Time is now. Space is enough. Now is always enough.
And now I'm wondering how many people are still trying to figure out what that word is because you've just mentioned it two more times.
It's enough. Enough is the
Enough.
universal, infinite, infinite enough. How big's the universe? Big enough. Okay.
Big enough. Yep.
Small enough. How big is it? How big is it's big. It's quantum level and macro level of everything. So it's infinite,
Right.
infinite small, infinitely large. So a lot of people have a hard time with enough because we're trained to complain about not having enough or complaining we have too much. And it takes us out of the present moment, which is the only time that there is the present moment. It's been now 2,000 years ago. It will be now 2,000 years from here. So, so many people get out of the present moment and then they're out of alignment with what is. And some people say to me, well, I don't have enough money right now. And I said, do you have the space for it? Yes. So know when you say it, when you ask for, I have X amount of dollars that someone wants and they're manifesting, it doesn't seem like it seems fake, like I'm lying. Then think of it that way. Think that I have space for this much money in my life right now. Boom. And have that. The more you do that, the more you will be aware that where the opportunity is coming from to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and changing your mindset and the way you think about things, perceive it or see it makes a huge difference as well.
Yeah. What you think about, you bring about. And every thought we have is a prayer. Whether we say it externally or we say it internally, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're thinking about, think of it as a prayer because you're going to get it.
Right.
Yeah. So the good
Yeah.
news is you can change your mind at any time and you can change your thoughts at any time. So that's the good thing. But if you don't, then you're in those thoughts are the the hard drive of your mind and they're searching out this stuff until you decide to change the program.
Yep. And put away and lock lock away what you don't need, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't think of a white horse. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, if it's really strange. It's a paradox. So we have the game of 10 and then we have the game often played. Okay. So
Okay.
in the game often played is I'm not 10. I'm not doing the best I can with the awareness I have. I'm not right with the awareness I have. I'm not enough. I don't do enough and I don't have enough. 9 through 1. Okay. And
Hmm.
that I call that the game often played. And there are 4 elements in this game. There's fear, 1 through 9, self-doubt, 1 through 9, guilt, I did something bad, they did something bad, 1 through 9, and shame, I am bad, they are bad. Okay? 1 through 9. And there's 6,561 options from the game often played. So it's no wonder people stay in that matrix. That is the matrix. So the only way to get out of the matrix is to basically get to level 9 and then take a leap of faith of not thinking the way we traditionally think. Because most people think they are their thoughts. You have a thought, okay?
Right.
You have a feeling. You are not your feelings. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You have them. You are not a body. You have a body. You are not your mind. You have a mind, okay? So there are tools. So we have the ability to use these tools and use them consciously. And then when you're done with these thoughts, put them away. Okay? Let them go. In other
Let them
words,
go. Let them go. That's a big thing, is let them go.
let them go, forgive. That's forgiving. But
Hmm.
people think, I use the word think, they have to forgive a person, place, or situation that harmed them. What they have to let go of to be free of thoughts is to let go of the person, places, or situations that disappointed them or harmed them in the past. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I've heard other people describe, forgiving, like, so when you're saying you're forgiving someone, it's not you're forgiving them for what they did, but forgiving for the situation, whatever. It's you're not necessarily saying it's okay, but you're forgiving it basically that you're letting it go and not giving it power.
You're letting go of the thought about what they did to you, what they said
Right.
about you behind your back, what they said to your face. You have the thought about them, and it doesn't mean you have to have lunch with them. Okay,
Right.
you forgive them, but we're good. Okay,
Yeah. That would be those boundaries. Put them boundaries in place, right?
and the other thing is too that you can't if someone did some harm to you, and you still haven't let it go, you can't forgive at the level that you are feeling the hurt and the pain from. It just doesn't work that way. So therefore, whenever you say these phrases, you open up a whole can of whoop ass from your subconscious that's going to come up. So I'll share with your audience, if you're saying these phrases, also do this. Between above your ears, you have a temple. Your mind is your brain is a temple. It's a processing system, and so we're an idea in the mind of God. God's an idea in the mind of us. So create a temple in your mind. It can be a Greek temple, it can be a Buddhist temple, it can be, but it has to be something that's sacred to you, okay? And in that temple, put an altar. So when you have a unhealthy thought of, from the game often played, that I'm not good enough, don't do enough, don't have enough, anything in those categories, put, put them together, those thoughts, and put them on that altar and leave them there. And I had a client once say to me, where do they go? I said Disney World. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's on the altar. It's
Not real. They're not real. You're letting go of an illusion that is not real. It's not. It's not prevalent in you. It's prevalent, but it's not important in your life right now. They don't. These thoughts of negativity, hurt, self-doubt, fear, guilt, and they're not useful. They don't serve you anymore. If they serve you, keep them.
right.
They are
Yeah.
destructive, and if you want to be destructive toward yourself and others, you keep them. But I'm giving people the opportunity to let them go. So, and I highly suggest you'll be happy when you let them go. You're the key is we're always happy. So some people are happy being miserable.
Yeah, I don't have the energy or the space for that.
No, and if you ever said that to them, they would they would give you two words.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. We won't say those two words on here, but
No,
yes, we know what they are.
you know what they are, and they will say that to you.
Steve, you work with a lot of high performers over your time too. So many high performers struggle silently with fear, guilt, and self doubt. Why do you think these emotions persist even at high levels of success?
Based on the past traumas, and it starts from 0 to 7. Dr. Lipton, I think, what is his name? Lipton. He did a study on from 0 to 7. We're in theta, so we pick up everything. So if we had a traumatic childhood, there was abuse in the family, there was whatever, with yelling, screaming, fear, doubt, guilt. You were told we didn't want you. We were told just those horrific things that some parents say to their kids, and at that age, they believe it, and it's stuck in their psyche. So the Jesuits say, if you give me a child from 0 to 7, I'll give you the man. So we are so programmed from that time. By the time we get out of that, we're pretty hardwired to be who we are, and we repeat the same patterns until we have the awareness to let them go. This doesn't serve me anymore. So either doing your own self-help therapy, coaching, you really have it's a lot of work to undo what has been hardwired into our brains. The neuroscience behind it, plasticity. The good news is we're very forming from those 0 to 7. It's great. But the good news is you can change the neuroplasticity. It's harder as you
Yeah,
get
you
older.
can rewire it. Just takes
And
just takes work.
it takes work. And is it easy work? No.
Mm-mm.
So I say treat it as a game and have fun with it and say, I didn't know that was there. and But yeah,
Yeah.
there's ways of knowing when you are triggered. Well, first of all, you react. And another one is when you defend. And a lot of people don't know if someone says something to you and you're defending it. First thing I do, oh my, I'm defending this. Where's the lie I have inside me? Okay, where's the lie? And that's a harder to. But reacting, I'm reactive, and in a negative way, like fear, self doubt, guilt, or shame. That's easier than catching myself defend something. But I don't defend now. So.
Yeah, that takes a lot to stop doing when you feel like you need to defend
Or
defend or justify your answer or anything.
explain or complain. This whole thing I heard once that when people have a complaint, chronic complainers, think of it like it's a grievance against God or what is. It's a grievance against what is. And
Right.
the definition of God is what it is, isn't what it isn't. It's everything. It's not a thing. It's nothing, no thing. So,
Nothing.
so it's really, I don't know who can argue with that. so,
Oh, I'm sure someone will try.
and I hope.
Yeah. So, what's one mindset trap that you see leaders fall into that keeps them stuck, and how can they break free from it?
Well, you answered the question, stuck. Okay.
Stuck.
The answer's in the question usually. So it is stuck because they get to the limit from their limiting beliefs. So a belief is a thought that you truly know.
Right.
You, but you think you know, even if that thought is not true. So it's a lie, you know? And if I say to someone who believes something and they think they believe it, they know they believe it, if I tell them something else, they're going to start defending it. Well, I can't do it. You don't know what I've been through, and they will defend to the hilt. Okay, because it has been it's really hard to change somebody's beliefs. Easier for a thought, easier for an idea. Okay,
Hmm.
you download an idea, turns into a thought, and then that thought becomes consistent. I'm going to do this from now on. Well, from now on, 20 years from now, your thought 20 years ago doesn't work 20 years in the future. You know?
True. True. Yep. So, do you have any you want to share with us? Or I know without using clients' names or anything, what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen, maybe like in some of your clients?
The biggest changes. I had a client my favorite client, I'm actually teaching him to coach in the game of 10. He's from Canada and he had PTSD. Okay,
Hmm.
former veteran, and he claims that I've cured him of PTSD. Okay, I make no claims. So
Right.
he, one of the funniest things was I started hearing him say that I have to do my morning exercise before I get out of bed, or I'll have cramps in my legs all day long. And then it went on the first session going. He started having all these. If he does this, I'll be fine for the rest of the day. And then he goes, if I don't do it, then I know then I will have this. I said, oh my God, do you make terms and conditions on everything in your life? He goes, you think?
Wow.
And he did. And I still catch him. And I go, but they're getting better. That hard to get. He'll be, hey, I had da 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 da. I said, it sounds like a term and condition. Oh my God. I go, you are the best at that. He goes, I know. So I tell everybody to break all your terms and conditions that you have made on yourself, especially I'll be happy when.
Hmm.
Okay? Happiness is not, it's a set. That is it is a high level 10 attribute. It's an aspect. Happy, healthy, abundant or wealthy, healed and whole are who we are. But what people tend to do is put terms and conditions. I'll be happy when I get this, I can do this. So it's a pandemic of conditions, and it's conditional love. So you have to find out where you put that condition and break that term and condition. And I say, go to the altar, take contract broken, okay?
Yep.
Break every contract that you ever made with yourself because you're perfect as you are until you make a term and condition that you think you can do better. Much like our Constitution, we have amendments, but we're pretty much perfect as we are when we come into this world. But people think that we have an ego and we have free will to make amendments to our Constitution.
Yeah, well, when you start doing all the if this, then this will happen, this, that just kind of sounds like self-sabotage or, not having the right intentions, set. Because when you put the wrong intentions forward, then that's what you're going to get. Because, like you said, we get what we,
Yeah,
if you
I
think it, you speak it, you get it, kind of a
Yeah,
deal.
road to hell was paved with good intentions, type of thing. So I don't know. I'm not. I sound like I'm religious. I'm not. So if I do, I'm very open to all religions, and anyway, and I don't believe in hell. I do believe people create their own hell. I do know that. I don't believe I know it.
Right.
So it's really about undoing that concept of good and evil. And the game of 10 is all about, speaking of good, in the game often played, you're dealing with good and bad, good and evil, and it's duality. So the game of 10 is not dualistic, it's monolithic, and it's infinite. It's spectrum. It is what it is. It isn't what it isn't. It's everything. It's nothing. So
Right.
it opens you up to all experiences and setting boundaries to which ones you're choosing in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boundaries, awareness, all of those are all definitely, important parts. And awareness, I would say, is definitely a key to the transformation. Would you not?
that is the when I went to the Gestalt International Study Center in 2015. Underneath was the tagline: "Awareness is the key." Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Awareness is without thought.
What would you say true awareness looks like in action, not just in theory?
Bliss. Yeah. So you hear peak experience, flow, bliss, um, I, exuberance. I call awareness content to bliss in that range. And I think 80% of the time I'm content. 20% of the time I'm on a higher level of content, happy and laughing and
Right.
joyful. And maybe sometimes I'm bliss, okay? So, yeah.
So, how would you say someone can move from overthinking and hesitation into clear, decisive action without feeling overwhelmed?
By practicing similar, either through meditation, these six phrases are an active meditation. So my way is not the only way. My way is a brand, the game of 10.
Hmm.
It's a market and it works. So find your way. I think I have ADD, so I don't sit there for an hour meditating. My mind will, it's too active. Okay. So I
Right.
think I came up with this, or I know I came up with this so that I don't have to sit there and just Look at the clock. How am I in bed? Oh, 5 minutes? No, it doesn't work for me. So I think really, it's all about being your authentic self, and which is very hard because everyone wants you to be like they are. And they will tell you. So it's really find what works for you. And if this works for somebody, use it. If it doesn't, find something else. But really just know that we're I'm always happy. Okay? Always. And it might be from content to bliss. And just like nobody, when someone comes up to me, well, I'm going to tell you something, but you're not going to be happy. I'll say, just tell me what to do.
Oh, well, and I will say I can attest to that because, we were having some technical issues and it took us a while. And I have to say, you went through that very smoothly and just kind of like laughed it off where most people would have just been pulling their hair out or screaming or giving up for, for all the technical issues we were going through before we got to do this.
Yeah, and that earlier today I had a podcast, and my girlfriend and her son, adult son, came over with the two kids, and they were talking up, and she has a school teacher voice, and I'm in the middle of a podcast, a deep discussion, and I said, "Excuse me, can you edit? Are you editing this?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "I hold on." So I had to go out there. I said, "I'm on a podcast. Please keep it down." And I did it in a way that I could see that her son was like. I hadn't seen him for like a month or two, and he's coming back, and I said it in a way that was stern, but I didn't have time to be, "Hi, how you doing?" And I wanted to, and I wasn't angry. I was just like the lack of awareness that I'm on a podcast.
Right, right.
My understanding was they were coming at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but this was 11 in the morning, so that was kind of a,
A
a
surprise.
surprise. Yep, yep.
But then again, like you said, it's awareness, right?
It's
You
a way.
know,
Yeah. I don't, very, very rarely do I get mad or angry. Rarely. It takes a lot. And even now, I think the last time I got mad, I had to really figure out it was when I was disrespected, like intentionally.
hmm
Now, I don't think someone can disrespect me, and I might laugh, So I
right.
did the real, I had to figure out what it was when someone blatantly just was like cruel. And so I think now if someone was really cruel to me, I don't know what I'd do. Just like, really? Just go, okay.
It's just like next, okay, don't
Yeah,
need, create that boundary, don't need that
I don't
space.
know what to do with this, so see ya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What would you, so in your experience, how does unresolved guilt or shame impact leadership, relationships, and decision making?
Oh, if it's unresolved, you're going to start manipulate. If you have guilt and shame, you're going to use that as a tool to get what you want from others, and it will be icky for the especially for the one who says yes and means no. So there are people out there, the pleasers. I like to say I'm not nice. I'm kind. I'm not a people pleaser. I I I had to make up a word for when I really, really care that someone likes me or anything. If I really, really care, fill in the blank, the dot, 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 and I really, really, really don't. Okay?
Okay.
And usually I say, don't give a blank. Okay?
hmm
And it's called, so I did a chat. What does it mean to do that? And Gemini and Grok, and all three came up with that's called compassionate detachment. So in therapy or coaching or even friends, you can't be a great sounding board when you go down to the level of their depression, hurt, pain, suffering, and really be a support for them. You're just really just being codependent with them.
Yeah,
And
joining the pity pool.
in the pity pool, yeah, blaming and pointing outside people versus saying, where do you play a role in this? So I had to come up with a word. There's no one word that I can find out in the English language. So I love branding. So I came up with a word called tenkare, ten care, and then to make it bougie, put an accent to go at the end. So it's called tenkare to have it be a game, fun word. and I use it around the, my girlfriend would come up and say, da 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 da. I said, yeah, I'm pretty 10 calorie about it. It's contagious, and
Right, and then she'll know what that means.
yeah, I mean, I care, so and so's doing this and so and so said 10 calorie. I care, don't care.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Chad on Saturday Night Live. He just like very great character, and Peter Davidson. He says, "Okay, everything's okay."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and it's because everybody's got opinions. We know that. We know that saying as well. But
yeah.
everyone has them. Doesn't mean you need them, or want them. But it's just like, yep, okay, that's or that's. Hear people say, "Oh, that's the truth." It's like, no, that's the truth as you perceive it, and that's okay. Not how I perceive it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you also have a book, I believe, right?
I
That's
do. Uh,
available for people.
I do. It's called in 2000 during COVID. I got to write a book called, and I wanted to write a book called The Game of Ten, but the publisher said it wouldn't sell. And I said, okay. And then I said, didn't say anything. She said, do you want to know why? I said, no. When someone does that stuff to me, I just like love to play. I love
Hmm.
to play. And she goes, I'll tell you why. I said, okay. She goes, you won't sell because you're not Beyonce. So I said, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so if you were Beyonce, it'd be New York Times bestseller. What else you got? I said, I'm writing it with my 18-year-old son. She goes, oh, a parenting book. I said, okay. So, so it's called The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment, and it's tools for helping you and your child develop a path to happiness. So for those of you out there who don't have children, do you have an inner child? Yep. So read it for your inner child for healing that. It's about letting go and forgiving yourself and others, and but you have to forgive yourself first, and then the others kind of don't matter. It's,
Well, and I think if people don't think they have an inner child, that's part of our problem is we don't tap back into that inner child, right? Because I
you
mean,
know, there's a lot of adults acting like children. It's their outer child.
oh yeah, I have one. I have one. Keeps us young,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all of that creativity, all of that stuff always seems to get stifled because we're doing our adulting and growing up, and then all of that gets cut short. So I think it's good to tap into your inner child.
Oh, we're here to play. We're here to recreate, recreate heaven on earth. How's that?
Yeah,
So
there you go.
it's all about playing and playing with words, making fun with people, not of people, with people, right?
There is a difference.
There is a difference. Both are fun. One's going to come back and they're going to be making fun of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is karma. Karma is a thing. So so yeah. And my book's on Amazon. It's a great book. I'm happy to do it. In the process of writing a new book too now called The Game of Ten. So yeah.
Yep. I was going to say, I would still think that would be a good book. One of the things that someone shared with me that helped me that I read was The Game of Life and How You Play It
Yeah.
by Florence Shim. So,
Yeah. It's an old book, isn't it?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it, and yeah, the Game of Ten is just a truth that can be said infinitely. I like to say that the truth can be told infinitely. A lie has a limitation, and that's what the game often played is. Although it has 6,561 options, that's pretty limited when compared to infinite. Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, so if someone watching today feels stuck or disconnected from their purpose, what is one powerful first step that they can take right now to shift their trajectory? And I'm pretty sure I know what that answer is going to be, but go ahead.
Be grateful. The I am enough, I do enough, I have enough, put you in a state of grace and gratitude. And you can't be stuck if you're grateful for what you have right now. You can't be depressed, you can't be anxious, and you can't be stuck. It's a key awareness, it's part of the awareness process. Those six phrases will get you unstuck. So, because you opened up the portal to the collective conscious, the collective unconscious, you become a channel for that. So when you're a channel, a clear channel, there's no stuck. The the thoughts, it's an analogy, it's like a toilet that gets plugged up with you know what? And just the same thoughts are like, you know what? You
Yep.
get stressed, it gets plugged up and you get stuck. So you want to put those thoughts where they belong, in on the altar, let them go, and yeah. So you want to, that's how you get unstuck, by being aware that you are stuck with fear, self-doubt, guilt, or shame. Any thoughts on the altar, flush it out, flushing it out. Yep.
It's so much nicer to stay in flow. But
Yep.
Steve, we got about 4 minutes left. What do you want to leave everybody with today?
Um, I hear this all the time, and nobody knows. It's when we say alignment, we say flow. When we say be your authentic self, it's meaningless to most people until you experience it. And the reason that most people are not their authentic self is because other people want them to be just like them. And oftentimes we become pleasers to be like other people. We're not like other people. I'm not like other people. Yeah, Laura's not like other people. No, everybody in this is unique and the same. So it's important to be your unique self. If you're not, if you're really turning away so many people you know in your life, you might want to think it might be you, that you can change your behavior, but you don't have to change yourself. Change, modify your language, modify your behaviors, modify your, be around people who really appreciate you, and say, be kind and respectful to everybody, but don't, if the room's not for you, don't join that room, and don't, and have enough strength to leave that room to be around people that really respect you, what you have to say, what you have to think, who really celebrate your successes. And I
Yeah.
think that's, yeah, to be around people who celebrate your successes.
Yeah. And that's important because you do have that choice. You know, people always act like they don't have a choice. And it's like, if that room's not for you, leave it. That choice is yours. You're the only one that can control it.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And go to my website to download my book, the father, my son and I, my book, our father son project. I thought, I talked to someone today and said, I think I might write a sequel about how we wrote the book and call it the two ADHers writing the book. And I think I'd call the sequel of the how the game the father and son, the aha moment was written, called herding cats.
Herding cats.
So go to my website, download the book. You will get 5 trickles about my coaching. Book a call, don't book a call, 10 carry. Okay?
And
I
Kari, yep.
deeply care. I deeply, deeply want you to get the, what you can get out of it. The book will tell you all of it. A coach is for really, everyone knows how to lift weights and exercise, but usually a coach holds you to the fire to do it. Okay? So that's what I do.
Helps guide you, hold you accountable. Yeah.
www.stevebartoncoaching.com. I think you have it on the
Hmm.
screen
Yep.
there. There. So thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad we got got all the technical issues figured out.
Wasn't that fun?
Technology is always fun. It's great when it works. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time and joining us and sharing the game of 10 and your perspectives, because it is, if you haven't tried it, try it or rewatch this so you get those 6 lines, because I will tell you, as an overthinker, it does help you to stop overthinking and just dump things out. So
It takes
definitely.
practice. It takes practice to remember and remind and let
Oh,
go.
I recite it at least 5 to 6 times, or if my head starts going, it's like, whoop, nope, I stop.
Yeah.
And I do those 6, and it is very effective. So,
Do it about 5 times a day because we have, life happens and things happen and it's a reset. So I highly recommend it. You can't overdo it. I have one client who she's actually, I'm mentoring her. She's 16 and it's a kind of a pro bono. And she goes, I'm doing it like 50 times. I said, stop. She is an overachiever. And I said, 5 times a day. You're the only one I've ever limited. Stop. You just do it 5 times a day. That's enough. That's your
right.
enough. Yeah.
It's enough, right? There's the word, enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday and a great week, and we will see you all next time.